everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney and I have a very big and exciting book haul video for you guys today. So I have 50 or more books here to show you, so I am not going to be going through too much detail of each one. This is my very first book haul, so that's very exciting too. These have literally been accumulated just over the past month. I've purchased a lot of books recently, so this will hold me over for quite some time now. I am fully stocked. We'll just get into it with no particular order or categories. I'm just gonna be picking off these stacks that are right here in front of me. After I get through all the physical books, I do have a few on my Kindle that I'll show you as well. So yeah, where do I start? Okay, so the first one I have to show you is Take Me Home Tonight by Morgan Matson. I am so excited for this one because apparently it's about two girls who are best friends and they go on a trip to New York and things don't end up going to plan. They run into a lot of problems, but I am just so excited for this because I love any books that are set in New York. Specifically, I think that is so fun and adventurous, and following two best friends sounds like a great time, and apparently Pomeranians are involved, so can't wait to get into this one. The next book is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I am really interested to see how I feel about this one. It is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, so a fantasy romance, but I hear it's more heavy on the fantasy than it is the romance, so I'm interested to see how I like this one. And the next one I have is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. This is about a girl who goes on a dating app that is wired with your DNA to find your perfect match, so that's a little bit interesting. She gets matched with the creator of this app. It's a tremendously fun slow burn, so interested to see how this one is. And the next book I have here is actually my first from this particular author that I have always wanted to read, have always been intrigued by his books, so I'm very excited to have this one, and that is If It Bleeds by Stephen King. This is the first Stephen King book I've ever picked up, and I don't know what this one is about, but it looks very creepy and spooky, and I'm really excited to read one of his books. I actually do have a couple more of his in here that I will get to once I find them. But yeah, so this is the first Stephen King I have. And then the next book I have here is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. This is a female-female romance about a girl who finds another very attractive girl on a train, and then every day she tries to cross paths with this girl, but then she might not be real. I feel like that's what the synopsis was telling me. It's a mysterious girl who, it says she's literally displaced in time from the 1970s. So we have a time travel thing going on, maybe? I don't know. This is a fairly new one that I know a lot of people are excited to read, and yeah. The next book I have here is actually one that I've read before on ebook, so I wanted to get the physical copy of it, and that is Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. I loved this book so much. I read it a couple years ago now, but like I said, it was on ebook, so I'm so happy to have the physical so I can reread and annotate. I also got it just because I wanted to start a collection of her books on my bookshelf, so I've got this one. And I also have Permanent Record by her. I've heard really great things about this one too. I'm not really sure what it's about. I think this is the only other book I have of hers, so I got 3 total of her books. And that is Yoke, which I am super, super happy to have. I've got the hardcover, so it's got the cute little hand holding that everyone shows off, and this is about two sisters who are complete opposites, and one of them is diagnosed with cancer, I believe, so they have to come together. And I know this is very heartbreaking, and I've heard it's really, really good. And then the next one, oh my gosh, I'm nervous to say the author of this one because I've been trying to practice how to pronounce it this whole time. But we're gonna try our best. That is Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Iyumide. And this is actually the Patreon book club pick for Mel Read's Patreon that we are doing in July. So I'm very excited to have this and read along with everybody else on her Patreon, and it just is an absolutely stunning cover. I'm in love with it. And then the next book I have is House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. This looks creepy. I mean, there's bugs all over her face, and so it's like a eerie, creepy thriller about sisters who are supposedly the most beautiful anybody has ever seen, and then one of them goes missing and they have to figure out where she went and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm interested about this one for sure. The next book I have is actually one that I've read already, and there will be a reading vlog coming for that soon, and that is A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This was the Patreon book club pick for Books with Chloe's Patreon. I absolutely love this book, but you will hear more of my thoughts on this one in the reading vlog that's coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. And then the next book I have is surprisingly very dense for how small of a paperback it is. But I'm very excited to read this because it's very popular in the booktube community right now, and that is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And yeah, why is this so thick and dense? Like, I'm scared to get into this. This is probably going to be a lot for me to get into, so I'm gonna have to really mentally prepare for this one. The next book I have here is Fire by Kristen Kishore, and I just recently decided that I want to participate in the Graceling Along happening over on A Frolic Through Fictions channel. She's hosting it, and we are reading Graceling in July, and so I decided I need to pick up the second book just so that I'm ready for August, and then I'll get the next two when the time comes. But yeah, so I got that for the Graceling Along readathon. And then the next one I have here is There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins, and this gives me very much Don't Breathe vibes, which is a movie. I'm not sure if any of you have seen that movie, but I loved that movie so much. It was absolutely, like, probably one of my favorite psychological thriller movies. So this is giving me those vibes, but I have no idea if that's at all what it's going to be like. But I also love just the pink, and I love thrillers, so it sounds very spooky. It's also a Netflix film, so I'll probably be watching that later after I read the book, of course. But I'm hoping it's very psychological, like I said Don't Breathe was. Like, it might be like it's a haunted house type of situation, but I kind of hope it's more like human versus human thriller, you know what I mean? So we'll see, but I'm very excited about this. And the next book I have is one that I'm very, very excited to get to, but will probably be a while until I actually am able to pick it up, and that is Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. I have actually only read City of Bones in the Shadowhunters series, so it's gonna take me a while till I can pick this up, but I'm very excited to. I already have Chain of Gold, obviously, so I've got this one, and I actually don't even have the rest of the Mortal Instruments series. I don't have any of the Dark Artifices or the whatever the other one is, Internal Devices, but I have the Last Hours, so I guess that's something that counts, right? Okay, and then the next book is one that I just started yesterday for our family book club. This was my mom's pick, and that is Sorry Not Sorry by Sophie Renaud. This is apparently about a woman who is in her late 20s and is just like stuck in a rut, and she wants to do something with her life and she doesn't want to be sorry for it. So I'm excited to see how this goes. It is a contemporary romance. I think there will be a love interest in here at some point, but I am only like 20 pages in, but yes, so I have this for our family book club. And then the next book I have here is related to our family book club, and that is Fly Away by Kristen Hanna. This is the companion novel to Firefly Lane, which I read recently. If you've seen my last couple reading vlogs, I was reading that with my family, and I absolutely loved that book for sure. So this is the companion book to that. Okay, and next, what I have here is actually very exciting because I am doing a whole reading vlog about this series, but it probably won't be up for a while because it's probably going to take me a while to get through all these books. But that is the Twilight saga. Whoa. Okay. Splurged and got the whole, it wasn't really a splurge, it was actually really affordable, but I got the whole white box set, and so I'm in the middle of reading Twilight. And like I said, I am going to be doing a whole spoiler-filled reading vlog of me reading this whole series, as well as this next book that I am going to talk about, and that's Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. So once I get through all of the Twilight saga paperbacks, white paperbacks, then I'm going to jump right into Midnight Sun. So I'm hoping I can kind of get through this fast, but it might take a little bit because they are some thick books. I've never read them before, but you will see the reading vlog at some point, so get excited for that. If you like Twilight, if you hate Twilight, you're gonna want to watch it because I'm going to be giving all spoiler-filled thoughts and opinions on it. So yeah, very excited to get into that vampire world for sure, because I haven't even seen the movies. But again, you'll hear about all that later in the Twilight reading vlog. The next book I have is another thriller that I'm very excited about, and that is Final Girls by Riley Sager. Very interested to see what this is about. I don't really know, so we're just gonna have to jump right in one time. But I love me a thriller, so I'm very excited for this one. Okay, and the next two books I have are the other Stephen King books that I picked up, and those are The Shining and Carrie. So I am very excited to have a couple of Stephen King books to read, and I'm really hoping that I like them. I think Carrie I'm really excited about. It's actually very short. I'm really excited about Carrie the most because this is his first book ever released, and it sounds really interesting. It's about a girl in high school who has powers, maybe? Whoa, it's actually big text. Oh my gosh, I might actually fly through this. It's like she can move things with her mind, and she's in high school, I think. It says classmates, so it could be college or something, but it's a school setting and she can move things with her mind. Sounds awesome. And then The Shining, I think I've seen the movie before, but I don't really remember tons about it, but this just sounds so spooky. I might save this for like October because I don't know when the heck I'm gonna be able to pick up any of these books actually, because I have so much to read. But this sounds like a good one to save for around Halloween time. All right, and then the next two books I have are A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas and A Court of Frost and Starlight. So I have the rest of the series besides Court of Silver Flames. I will end up getting that one when the time comes. I haven't read any of the books before, so I've got a little bit more of the series completed so that I can one day pick up A Court of Thorns and Roses and then just binge the entire series. Obviously, it's probably the most talked about series in BookTube, so I'm excited to get into it and let you guys know my thoughts on it. And then the next two books I have are a continuation of another series that's very popular here on BookTube, and that is City of Glass and City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. So I only have City of Bones and City of Ashes, and I've only read City of Bones, but now I've got a little bit more of this series as well so that I can encourage myself to pick up these books and just get through them, because I actually really liked City of Bones. So again, this was just another thing to collect to get closer to having the whole series on my bookshelves. We're kind of almost done. We're down to the last big stack, and then we have all of my Kindle books to show you. But this next section will be all of my Colleen Hoover books that I've gotten. So the first one I have here is It Ends With Us. This is a very tough, heartbreaking read. I've heard about a married couple, so I'll have to be in the right headspace to read this. The next one I have by her is Ugly Love. I know this one is loved by many people. It's very heartbreaking, as well as I think all of Colleen Hoover's books are just gonna make me cry my eyes out, but I'm excited for that. So I've got this one, and then the next one I have is All Your Perfects. This cover feels like velvety. It's kind of really weird. This one again is about a married couple, I think. Can a love story with a perfect beginning survive a lifetime between two imperfect people? And then I also have November 9 by Colleen Hoover. Don't really know what this one's about either. It says, you'll never be able to find yourself if you're lost in someone else. Oh, that sounds really good. Okay, I'm excited about this one. And then finally, my last Colleen Hoover book is Regretting You. And this one says, how do you pick up the pieces without the glue holding everything together? Yeah, I'm excited to have a Colleen Hoover binge at some point. I might do a whole dedicated Colleen Hoover reading vlog in the future as well, since I have all of these books now to read. Okay, and then the next book I have is actually a gift from the lovely Morgan, who is in Mel Reed's Patreon, and she kindly sent me Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. And thank you so much, Morgan. I'm actually so excited to read this one. Sounds so interesting. It's a thriller about another married couple, and this says The Perfect Marriage or the Perfect Lie. So excited for a psychological thriller. Those are my absolute faves, so thank you again, Morgan. And so while we're on the topic of gifted books, I do want to give a shout out to Victoria, who also sent me a book, but unfortunately it hasn't come yet and I really needed to film this book haul. So I still wanted to say thank you very much to her. She did give me a couple hints on what book it might be and I'm super excited for it to come. But yeah, I will have to show off and thank Victoria again, maybe in an upcoming reading vlog once that book comes in. But yes, thank you so much, Victoria. And if you wanted to send me your favorite book or see what's on my wish list, it is linked down in the description so you can check that out. But then the next book I have here is another Christina Lauren book, and that is The Unhoneymooners. This sounds like a great book. I think there's been some mixed reviews about it, but I'm very excited to see what I think. It says, for two sworn enemies on the Hawaiian trip of a lifetime, anything can happen, maybe even love. So I'm excited for a Hawaii-based book about enemies to lovers. And then the next one I have is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This is another enemies to lovers, maybe fake dating too? I'm not sure. I think it's just enemies to lovers, about Lucy and Joshua. This stack is getting so tall right here. You're almost gonna see it in the frame. Okay, and then the next one I have, I'm so excited because I've heard such great things about it, and that is Starfish by Akemi Dawn Bowman. Maybe a mother-daughter situation, childhood type stuff about a girl named Kiko. So yes, and then I also want to read this so that I can get her new book called Summer Bird Blue that's coming out soon. All right, now I think the last little section of physical books that I have here are Book of the Month books that I've gotten. Oh, actually, no, I have one more that's not Book of the Month, which, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for. And that is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've never read one of her books before, and I think this is the perfect one for me to read first because it's set in Malibu, obviously, California, which is where I'm from. So I'm so excited for a beach setting back in California. I miss it so much. So I think this will be awesome to read for this summer. And yes, just stunning. Now we are down to my Book of the Month little section here that I have gotten in the past 2 months. I got one last month, which was The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. This is another suspense thriller, I believe, about a husband who disappears or dies or something. Okay, yeah, so the husband disappears and he leaves a note to his wife about his daughter, which the note says protect her. The mom is dead, and so there's a stepmother who has to protect this 16-year-old daughter that the husband leaves a note for, which says protect her. I don't know, I'm confused. So I'm interested by this one because I have no idea still what it's about by that synopsis, but that's okay. The next one I have, I'm planning to read soon, and that is Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. I have been meaning to read a Nicola Yoon book for so long, but I have yet to do it, so I think this will probably be the first one that I end up reading by her, but it looks so pretty and I'm so excited to read this. Okay, and then the next one I have here is one of my most anticipated releases, and that is The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. This is the author of The Silent Patient, which I absolutely loved. I gave 5 out of 5 stars to that book, so I am very into this one. I've heard a lot of people say that if you like The Silent Patient, you will really like this. And there's short chapters too, which is always fantastic. So yes, I'm really excited to pick this up soon. And the last physical book I have here to show you is The Other Black Girl by Sakia Dalila Harris. And this is a workplace setting, I believe, about 2 black women, and that's really all I know. I think there's a little bit of a mystery to this book too. So yeah, I'm very excited for this. We're almost done. We're gonna get into the Kindle books now, which I think are mostly more romances, and I have a mix of thrillers on here as well. So the first one I see, I have I forgot what I have on here. The first one I have is From Lukov with Love by Marina Zapata. I've heard nothing but great things about this book, so yeah, we'll see. And then the next one I have is another Marina Zapata book, and that is The Wall of Winnipeg and Me. This is a sports romance, which I don't think I've ever read, but I love the sound of that. And then the next one is A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. Again, just a wonderful romance that I'm excited to get into. And then the other 2 I have here are companion novels by Emma Scott, which are Full Tilt and All In. And then I also have Tryst 6 Venom by Penelope Douglas, which is another female-female romance. The last romance I have on here is the first book in the Addicted series, which is Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. And then finally I have 2 Taylor Adams thrillers, which are Our Last Night and I Shot. I loved No Exit by Taylor Adams, so I'm very excited to get into these 2 as well. And yeah, there you have it. Those are all the books that I have hauled recently. I have bought so many books, so I am definitely on a book buying ban now, because I am stocked full to the brim of wonderful stories that I can't wait to get into. And now I'm out of breath and I desperately need some water. So I hope you enjoyed watching this book haul. Let me know if you have any of these books, if you're excited to read any of these books. Thank you so much for watching. Also be sure to check out all of my social links in the description below if you want to follow me elsewhere on Goodreads, Twitter, or Instagram. And yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!